Good morning, I'm Shelley from the Asia Open Data Partnership. On behalf of the Secretariat, I would like to welcome you all to join the AODP Data Application Workshop and celebrate the International Open Data Day with us today. Before we officially get started, I would like to briefly go through today's agenda with all of you first. So there are 4 sessions in today's workshop. In the first session, we will invite Professor C.K. Farn and Professor Jeffrey Dai to give us an introduction on Asia Open Data Portal and how exactly we can use it, along with some real cases. Next, we would like to invite 3 winners from 2020 Asia Open Data Challenge to share with us their experience on utilizing open data to create exceptional products and services that can actually improve our life. In the third session, we have invited speakers from 4 countries, Japan, India, Thailand, and Cambodia, to tell us more about the situation of open data in their own country. The 4 speakers are all from open data related field and thus have a lot of valuable information and experience to share. At the end of the workshop, there will be a Q&A session where speakers will respond to the questions posed by you, either from YouTube live chat session or Slido with the events code of 13328. You can also scan the QR code below for all materials we are using today. In the beginning of this workshop, we are very delighted to invite 2020 AODP Chair, Dr. Chi-Min Pong, to give us an opening remark first. Let's welcome Dr. Chi-Min Pong.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Chi-Min Pong. I'm the chair of AODP 2020, and thank you, the 2021 AODP chair from Vietnam, Professor Hong. And I would like to welcome all of you to join the Open Data Portal Data Application Workshop. You know, today is the Open Data Day. The Open Data Day starts from 2010, or more than 11 years ago. I remember in just 10 years, every year, sometimes we will have a webinar, we will hackathon or conference or any kind of talk. But due to the pandemic, and I think this time we organized together. We have 7 countries working together. This is the biggest Open Data Day event in the world this year. Very thank you all of you to join us. And I think this Open Data Day event is very, very important because we have 7 countries and we contribute all of our idea and all of our data together. We want to make all of our data set circulate together. It's not easy. I remember about 7 years ago when I promoted the open data in my country, in Taiwan, we have a dialogue, private sector want to dialogue with government. The government say, if we open our data to you and we make the competition, we don't like competition. But I want to dominate all of the things we can do. And however, in just 5 to 7 years, we successfully work together. We can say it's a public-private partnership. Work together. The government opens some data and share the data working together. So in Taiwan inside, we have lots of progress in less than 7 years. Very successful. But when we want to promote our data to internationally, I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, one minister told me, Dr. Pong, we cannot open to the others. We can make competition. For example, Japan, open data, they have lots of data scientists. They will come to Taiwan, get all our data out. So it's very dangerous for Taiwan. However, we have a dialogue with our minister together. So open data means open. Open means make the innovation. The government side, only the Taiwan point of view is not successful. We should open to the others. Open means competition. Competition make the progress. So when we have some competition, not dominate, government only dominate things, that something will happen. And open also means cooperations. So such is kind of innovation, competition, and cooperation make the data ecosystem very successful. So I think this time we hope our portal, the .Asia, such is kind of data portal, we can share together, can make our young generation, what they want to do is not only your country, is all over Asia, and that can make them more easy to expand their idea and their business model. Such as kind of the business model had been successfully in Asia. In Europe, they have the data portal in Europe, very successful. They also have a data strategy. So in Asia, we still have lots of work to do. I hope this workshop is just a start. And we hope in this year, I hope I can go to Vietnam and we can work together to talk what's our next step. We can work together. Okay, because in Taiwan, we work with government very successful. We work with the industry bureau. And right now, we will welcome the chief division of the industry bureau. He is in charge of the open data. Let's welcome the Mr. Wu. Welcome.
Welcome, Mr. Welcome, Mr. Hong from Vietnam, Dr. Pen from Taiwan, Mr. Seki from Japan, Mr. Steju from India, Mr. Suracha from Thailand, Mr. Choi from Cambodia, and Professor Fan from Taiwan, all AODP partners and friends all over the world. Good morning. Today is Open Data Day on the first Saturday of March every year to worldwide celebrate and share the achievement of open data development in different ways. Asia Open Data Partnership currently covers 21 partners from 11 Asia countries and is already Asia's leading open data organization. Therefore, AODP is pleased to join Open Data Day this year, sharing international application of open data with friends and showcasing the potential and the value of open data. In the past year, the world has been highly impacted by COVID-19 pandemic. Under this impact, major companies, communities, and countries have quickly shared public and private data related to the epidemic, including protection measures, economic relief plans, and medical resources. In Taiwan's case, we update the number of confirmed cases and report the mask inventory data every day so that the private sector can quickly develop mask map apps to help the public to get masks easily. During the early stage, we exchanged experience with neighboring countries and realized that we all have similar problems. Therefore, we together launched AODP in 2015 to promote open data and reuse to solve problems. AODP also successfully promoted the data portal.asia last year to promote cross-border open data application. Now, it has collected 73,000 open data sets from 12 countries. During the 3 months trial operation, it quickly drawn the attention of open data users worldwide, and the number of daily hits has grown fast from hundreds to more than 20,000 people per day. Those users come from more than 50 countries around the world, which also makes dataportal.asia rank first in Google search. In order to expand our influence, AODP will recruit business partners. With public and private partners together, we will promote open data through PPP mechanics and achieve great good. We will continue to participate in and support AODP, and I wish the event great success.
Thank you, Mr. Wu. And Mr. Wu just introduced the dataportal.asia. So I think this Open Data Day, we can know more detail about what's the data inside and what they can do in the future. I think it's very important to educate everyone we should open our mind. We should open our country data to the others. And then they will make more innovation and competition and also cooperation. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Min Peng. Next, I would also like to invite the 2021 AODP Chair, Dr. Nguyen Ngoc Hon, from the Association of Vietnam Universities and Colleges, to give us an opening remarks. Dr. Nguyen Ngoc Hon, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Dear participants of the AODP Data Application Workshop, greeting from Vietnam. Now, I'd like to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to attend and speak at this workshop as 2021 Chair of AODP Summit in Vietnam. As you know, Vietnam is a new partner of AODP Forum. Vietnam still have a long way to go to build up awareness of open data policies and their application for our network. That is why Vietnam is eager to connect with all our AODP for more international exchanges and cooperation. We are interested in events and activities for promoting understanding of policy, for facilitating creative and practical exploration, exploitation, reusability, and practical applications of the open data from our partners, especially for education and training, because in Vietnam, we need to educate people and make them aware of the value of open data to everyone. Also now, we realize that governmental organizations, business corporations, should also be mobilized for many meaningful activities, including online conferences of smart cities, online business matching, trade mission, or technical cooperation to enable more business opportunities among our partners. We love the AODP Data Application Workshop because this workshop introduced the sources of cross-country data set to the public and encourage more data application. This has a magnetic attraction to Vietnamese partners, and we would like to work with all of you on the 4 key drives: to create, to urge, and to promote, and especially to urge government to identify which data sets is useful and which data can be open for more useful application by comparing with different countries. So may I wish you all good health and happiness, and may the workshop be a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nguyen Ngoc Hon. Next, we will move on to the first session of today's workshop. Let us welcome Professor C.K. Pham and Professor Jeffrey Tai to give us an introduction on Asia Open Data Portal.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Dr. Nguyen, Dr. Peng, and all the honored guests and our friends, good friends from all over Asia. Today, I'm going to share with you the status report and walkthrough of dataportals.asia. We're talking about partnership and value co-creation. Okay, so I'm Professor Fan and my colleague, Professor Tai, will do the walkthrough a little bit later. Okay. Talking about the dataportal.asia, this is our front page, and what it does is this is the various the front page, the various categories. We have 12 categories now, and 10 different languages. And also we collected data from many countries. Some of the countries are not here, but if you go to the dataportal.asia, you may find more countries, data from more open data from more countries than this, because some of the data we have collected from non-government agencies like Greater Mekong area, where I collected also data from Vietnam, Myanmar, and a lot of other countries. So let me have a recap of dataportals.asia. The timeline is like this. We proposed building a data portal for Asia during the 2019 AODP summit back in Tokyo. And when we come back, we start working with a tight schedule, and we actually launched the service in September 2020. It's last year. So to recap, the objective is to optimize the value of cross-border public sector information in Asia. And the way is we build a data portal and hope that through pooling all the data from various countries, we can co-create a much higher value than the open data presented by each country. Okay, so what it does is the key function is including discovery, data storage, search, and advanced functions. We are going to talk about it later on. And the actual service launched September 2020. It's about 6 months ago. The fact sheet right now, as of February 25th, 2021, it is this year, a few days before. The data portal is based on CKAN, which is used by a lot of different open data platforms throughout the world. And currently there are about 73,000 data sets. The number is going to be increasing because we are going to collect more and more data gradually. The reason for that is apart from automatic data harvesting, we have to do some data cleaning and pre-processing before we put it into our data sets, including machine translation of some of the key metadata information. And we currently support 10 languages where we use Google Translation to translate some of the languages into English. Many of the countries, they publish their data in their local language. Like in Taiwan, most open data, apart from the numbers, they are in Chinese. And in Korea, in Japan, for example, in Arabic countries, they are all local languages. And Thailand, things are the same. So we do some machine translation. And currently there are 900 APIs and 20 catalogs, 12 categories. And also we have visualization albums and use case albums. We're going to show it later. Let me show you the value of the pool resources. Okay. Currently, our data portal ranked #1 in Google search. If you type in data portal, okay, it doesn't matter whether it has space, it's ranked #1. The reason for that is we built in some basic search engine optimization features. We designed it into the system. And basically, if you use other keywords like Open Data Asia, it also ranked #1. And first page exposure with many other keywords. You can change some of the keywords. Basically, with a lot of keywords, it comes to first page. Even with Bing and with other search engines, it also appear on the first page of the search. So this is a very high value for everyone, because if we put only the Taiwan data there, there's no way we can achieve the number one ranking. Any country, single country, you put the data there, it's not going to rank number one. But since we pull all the data from various countries, then they have a very rich data set. So it is going to rank very high in the data resources, in the Google search. And this is the daily visitors of data portals. Basically, the data starts last July when we have a test system. And the yellow part is when we actually launch it. Initially, we only have a few hundred access every day. But you can see the data, the horizontal line is 20,000 access. And the line goes all the way up. Okay. Of course, you can see a valley, a dip. The dip, when we look at it carefully, it is the Chinese New Year season. Okay, so the data goes down. Okay, and this is as of February 3rd, is a month ago. If we look at the more recent data, it's still going up. This is the value of pooled data resources, where the data coverage, we have more data available on the portal. It means better search engine ranking results and more users and more usage achieved and higher values. So what it does is it provides a way for every countries to have their open data resources to be exposed to the general public throughout Asia. So we sincerely call for value co-creation for everyone to contribute to this pool data resources. And I'm going to briefly talk about this system architecture. It is based on our Taiwanese cloud services and Ubuntu and then CKAN. On top of that, we have the Harvest program that we developed. And the website functionalities is data sets, is harvested data and data resources. We can download, visualize, preview, and so on. The major things are the red ones, the visualization albums, use case albums, and expert domains. And also we can available is access statistics. What it does is, this is, we talked about it about 6 months ago. This is how we do it. Various data sources, they have their source sites. They have the metadata and data sets. And then we have the data portal Asia. What it does is we do regular data harvesting, okay, so that we harvest all the data and put it in our metadata set. And when a user comes in, they do some search to find the data from the metadata. We can get it and redirect to the original data set. And then the user actually download and access data from the original data set. So we only publish metadata. We do not replicate it. Okay, so there is no privacy concern here. And some of the spotlights, we have multilingual, it's a machine translation. The reason we use machine translation is we are incapable of translating Arabic, Thai, and Japanese, Korean. So we rely on the Google translation. Basically, it is about 90% good. And inside data visualization, we try to use some of the data, the visualized data, to present it so that the users know. Some of the users who are unfamiliar know how to use it. And some of the use cases from various countries, for example, this one is from Korea. When you pick on it, it will show it, the use case. And the visualization albums, it is a user-generated contents. Okay, so these are some examples. And also domain experts, whereby if a data set, they have some API, automatic data interface, that they can upload it to our portal, and the users can then use the API to access the data. Okay. And also, Open Data News, this is, we use the Google search to search the news data. So If you search it from Thailand, you search it from Vietnam, you search it from Japan, you get a little bit different results because Google use location-based search. And for the user-generated data, it is the same. The users can upload it. We're going to talk about how to upload it. And then the end users can then find all the use cases and APIs. And then if it suits their purpose, they can do the download from the original data source. Okay, so next we're going to talk about how to co-create with us. The first thing is getting registered as a member, okay, and provide access and user-generated content in data harvesting services, open data, publishing services, and web APIs. So memberships, there are basically two types of membership. One is personal, where they can use a data set. They can browse it, they can download it, things like that. The use case, they can browse it, and web API, they can browse it. And business, they can have all the functions plus the managing functions like publishing, register account, manage account, and so on. And in the future, we are going to split it into two parts. One is a data owner, and the other one is a profit-generating business, where if they can generate business through out of the data portal, they can do some advertisement and so on, so that we can have some income to make the data portal self-sustained. Okay, so the next we're going to introduce the system walkthrough, and by talking about becoming a member to be harvested, publishing use case, and publishing APIs. I'll have my colleague Jeffrey Tai, Professor Tai, to introduce the walkthrough. Okay, Professor Tai.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Now I will go on to share with you about the procedures about how to create account and publish your data set, your use case, and your web API in dataportal.asia. When you want to create an account in dataportal.asia, you need to go to the main page of the site to find an online application form. Or you can type your URL to see a application form like this. Please fill in all the required data field and click the submit button. In response, the system will tell you that you have successfully signed up the system. Please note that it's important to create this kind of account because as a business user, you need to log into the system with this account in order to manage the published web API and data set. Okay. Next, I will go through the procedures to make your data set harvest by dataportal.asia. Dataportal.asia is built on top of CKAN. So our programmer is pretty much familiar with the about how to use CKAN API to look up your data set and retrieve your data set. If you have prepared a CKAN-based data platform, you just need to use these 4 steps to make us know how to harvest your data. First, of course, you need to have this kind of platform. Then you need to describe your data set so that we can know whom to contact if we have further problem. Also, you need to provide some technical information, such as do you provide metadata of your data set, and what kind of metadata standard do you use, and how are your metadata represented in what format. More importantly, you need to let us know if you provide data access API, and is there any authentication required for using this API. Also, we want to know the expected frequency of you want us to harvest your data. So please go to this URL to submit the description data to the online application form. Okay. After you submit the application form, our webmaster will do the remaining task and let you know the status of your application. For those data sets that are not CKAN-based platform, you also need to follow the same 4 steps I just mentioned above. Beyond that, our webmaster will contact you and co-work with you to know how to use your proprietary API to list your data set and to expose your data set to the harvesting program through your proprietary API. And another important thing is that we need to know the definition of your the data structure of your data set so that we can interpret your data set properly and present them correctly in our data portal.asia. So, So when we finish the harvesting activity, your data set will organize as a catalog in data portal.asia. And when we click on this item, all of your harvested data set will appear in our site, and users can look up this data set in using the lookup function in data portal.asia. Next, let's go through the procedures for publishing use cases. Use cases are something that data provider use open data to provide further value to data users. They can be in the form of a website where which data providers organize their data set in an easy to search way that allows users to find the required data set and download them easily. Also, it can be in the form of a report or visualization work that describes something about the real world. Besides, your use case can be something that you want to expose, provide value to your audience. So when you can publish your use case in data portal.asia because we have high exposure to a large audience. And if you publish your use case in data portal.asia, you can reach more audience than you put your use case in your own data site. So similarly, you need to follow the following 4 steps. First, of course, you need to have a web page to let internet users to locate your use case. Then you need to prepare descriptions for your use case, such as how open data is used in your use case and what are the benefits provided by your use case. Then you can put this description data in our online application form and then submit them to dataport.asia. And similarly, our webmaster will do the remaining task and publish them in the form of a list in our dataportal.asia. When you click on one of the use case, the description data you just described will appear as factor sheet in this web page, so that users can go further to find out the use case through the URL we provided in this web page. Next, let's go to how to publish your API in dataportal.asia. There are increasing data providers make their data set accessible through machine-to-machine web API. Using web API, users can access their your data set in more efficient way and in real time. However, you need to provide your API by conforming to the Swagger or aka Open API spec, so that dataportal.asia can easily publish them on our site. So make sure your API are developed and described in the Swagger format. Then, like this website, publish their data set using the Swagger format API or open conform to the Open API spec. Then dataportal.asia can easily put the same appearance in our website. Next, please prepare your description about your API. For example, the important thing is authentication required for using your API. Then you can put your description data to dataportal.asia through this application form. Once you submit the application form, you will get a notification. Then your published API will appear as albums in our website. Once we click the album, you will see the same API that appear as the same Swagger UI format in your website. Okay, so this is all of my part. Now I will pass to Professor Fan to conclude this presentation.
Okay, glad to see you again. Let me talk about our future development. First, we're going to promote web API for dataset harvesting, either CKAN compliance or proprietary. Right now, we are doing the starting work. Some of the data, like in India, like in Korea, we are going to expand our data harvesting in all these available countries, whether they are CKAN or they are not non-CKAN. And then we are going to expand the scope of harvesting activities in order to expand our AODP memberships. Right now we have 11 countries. We hope that through our co-creation of value, we can attract more countries to participate in our AODP memberships. And also we like to enhance all the AODP economies in open data capabilities through mutual support, just like in this workshop. We can talk about how to use it, country A, how to use it, country B, how to use it. We can exchange information, exchange ideas. Then you make our open data value enhanced. And also we want to encourage more cross-border use cases. If there are more examples of how to use the open data, we can encourage more usage and then extend cross-border users to non-IT people. Currently, I think all the open data, they are used by IT individuals, but if we can extend it to non-IT people, then we can have more values. And also, lastly, we want to make it to support profit-generating businesses in order to achieve self-sustaining platform operations. That's it for today. I'm sorry about the time. We delay. We take up about 4 or 5 minutes more than we are scheduled. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Professor Fong and Professor Tai, for your detailed introduction. Next, the second session will be the experience sharing of the Invincible Award winners from the 2020 Asia Open Data Challenge. The 3 winners are Glia Cloud from Taiwan, Smart Slavery from Japan, and DB from Korea. And now I would like to invite Ms. Melody Ho from Glia Cloud to be our first speaker in this session.
Everyone, my name is Melody, and I'm here to share how our company Glia Cloud utilizes open data. Our solution, Glia Star, is an AI video creation platform that animates data with an AI virtual character. As you all know, open data can be a very powerful communication tool. However, the current data visualization method is not friendly enough. Not everyone can understand, but it should be. That's why we like to introduce you our solution, Glia Star. Glia Star is an AI-powered video creation tool that can turn boring data into engaging videos. All you need to do is insert marketing script and select an open data set. Then our natural language processing algorithm will identify the data and generate graphs. Inputted text will also be analyzed to create the character's animation. Our character will act with corresponding gestures and facial expression. So if the data trend or script are positive, our character will act happily or even dance. Finally, our system will insert a relevant footage or image in the background and compose all the above assets into a single video. There you'll have a ready-to-use video just within a few clicks. In addition, our system currently supports 5 languages: Chinese, English, Korean, Japanese, and Vietnamese. Now you might wonder what we can use Glia Star to make videos. Like, what kind of videos can we make actually with Glia Star? Here we have a user scenario. There are plenty of tourism-related data out there. With Glia Star, public sectors and traveling agencies can now use their mascot as an AI character to promote traveling spots. Let's look at a demo video. Once the Open Data API is connected, you'll only need to insert the script, select the data, set the time frame, and the language you like to use in your video. And there you have a video ready just like this.
嗨，大家好，哦嗨哟，阿弥哈西哟，我是 Data 酱。Do you know in 2019, the number of foreign visitors to Japan, Korea, and Taiwan hit the record high, especially Japan, over 30 million. Let us check the must-see places in each capital city. Disney is the number 1 place I love visiting. Lying on is a famous sports profession. Let us go first. Songhong created parties.
Next, I'd like to introduce another user scenario with weather data. With Glia Star, we can turn weather forecast information into videos instantly. Here,
Quý vị và các bạn đang theo dõi bản tin dự báo thời tiết từ Trung tâm Dự báo Khí tượng Thủy văn Quốc gia. Dự báo thời tiết ngày 22 tháng 11 tại khu vực Hà Nội nhiều mây, không mưa, trưa chiều giảm mây trời nắng, gió đông bắc cấp 2, 3, đêm và sáng sớm trời rét, độ ẩm từ 64 đến 92%, nhiệt độ thấp nhất từ 17 đến 20 độ C, nhiệt độ cao nhất từ 23 đến 25 độ C, chất lượng không khí ngày hôm nay ở mức có hại cho sức khỏe.
The character will act happily and vice versa, such as this angry and sad face for rainy days. We offer various pricing packages, but in general, a user can enjoy GliaStar solution with $100 per video, which is much lower compared to manual production. And not to mention that this includes automatically generated charts and tables and graphs, etc. Finally, a little bit about ourselves. GliaCloud is a technology startup that focuses on AI video solutions. Here are some of our customers and investors from Japan and Korea. We have also received many media exposure and awards in the past years. And our goal is to make communication easy. That's why we've been using technology to leverage content creation. Hope you like our GliaStar solution. And let's animate data with AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Melody, for showing us your exceptional product. I bet that GliaStar can definitely make it much easier for public to understand the underlying meaning of both open and private data. Next, let us invite Mr. Yukio Ogasawara from Smart Delivery to be our second speaker in this session.
Hello everyone, can we hear me? We would like to introduce our solution, Smart Delivery. There are 4 members in our team and I'm Yukio. Next. How can we live with after COVID-19? There are several useful services for the urban area, but there are no such services for the countryside. Next. My grandmother lives in Aomori Prefecture, that is also my hometown. It is hard to work for her. Next page, please. My grandmother lives in Aomori Prefecture, that is also my hometown. It is hard to work for her because she has problem with leg. But there are no people who can help her. Like my grandmother, there are many elderly people who cannot go out. And worse, any supermarkets, shops, and hospitals are far from their houses. Next page, please. And there are 3 problems for the delivery services: traffic accidents, and delivery person cannot earn a lot of money in a short time. Next. And also restaurants and shops have problems, as you know. Next. To solve these problems, we suggest you our solution, Smart Delivery. Next. Here API is used in 3 important features of our solution: encourage delivery person, and safe routing system, and support various orders. Next. 3 kinds of bonuses encourage delivery person in the countryside. You can get bonuses by SD token. First, local bonuses by small population from open data population density. Second, weather bonuses on rainy days. Third, off-time bonuses. Next. We use 6 kinds of here APIs. Drivers can check the route with various vehicles. And we can show you the best way to pick up multiple items. This is weakness of Uber Eats. And more, drivers can avoid dangerous areas. We use open data from accident-prone area. Next. Finally, support various orders. Customers without smartphone can also order delivery service, as usual. Every kind of merchant can introduce Smart Delivery and can order with LINE chatbot. We think it helps logistics in the countryside. Next. This is the architecture of our solution. You can access Smart Delivery from your smartphone. Next. Smart Delivery utilizes 3 cutting-edge technologies: here, blockchain, and big data processing. With local currencies, with blockchain, we will promote a society of mutual support and token economy. Real-time monitoring with big data makes it possible to sustain safe delivery network. Next. We use 4 types of open data from Japan and Korea and Taiwan. Next. Logistics and mobility. We think it is possible to install smart delivery into automated car. It makes it possible to commute elderly people to hospital. On the other hand, our team is working on partnership agreement with automatic delivery robot company. Next. Smart delivery will support all of Asia and develop more livable city. Next. Let me show you the demonstration of our application. Next. If you are interested in smart delivery, please contact us from this QR code. You can search orders and get orders and pick up items by avoiding dangerous areas. And you can check 3D map and then you can get money and SD token. Next. 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 Sorry, finally, I will introduce open data sources. The statistics of population from Japan is that, and population density, pharmacy information, hospital information, traffic incident statistics, facilities with food business license from Japan. And also the list of designated hospitals from Taiwan Centers for Disease Control and list of hospitals from South Korea. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ogasawara, for showing us the brilliant idea you have gotten, especially under the current situation we are all facing. It definitely can make our life much safer. Last but not least, let us invite Yong-Sung Lee from DBDB to be our last speaker in this session.
Okay. Hello, thank you for having us for Asia Open Data workshop today. My name is Yong-Sung Lee from the team DBDB. Today, I'm going to briefly introduce the model we made using open data and share our thoughts on it. We made the regional social turmoil prediction model, which predicts the regional social turmoil index to identify the impacts of infectious diseases on society. Next. So let's start from the problem we wanted to solve. As we all know, quality of life has significantly decreased and society has become extremely unstable due to COVID-19. However, both the governments and companies don't know how to properly respond to the pandemic, which leads to the bankruptcy of lots of companies. Next. Therefore, in order to prevent this problem, we made a new factor for successful decision-making, social turmoil index. This index reveals the vulnerability of the society, and our model can give this index in 3 levels. By using the social turmoil index, the government can efficiently distribute the budgets and support vulnerable regions. To build this model, we used the open data from Korea, the number of basic livelihood security recipients, depression rates, suicide rates, the number of low-income families, and the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases as independent variables and calculate social turmoil index. Next. So currently this model only uses open data from Korea, but if we could get other countries' data, then we could build more generalized and appealing model. Moreover, we can apply this model to various disasters such as flood and fire. In every journey, there will be an open data. Next. So, however, we have a few problems when applying open data to our model. First, we do not have enough data. This is just a traditional problem of building a model, but considering that our model needs a social data, which makes us hugely depend on open data from the government, it was much harder to get what we needed. Second, even data that we found were really tricky to use. this is more related to the quality of data. For example, lots of data were omitted, each data had various standards, or format varied data by data. As a result, it took lots of time to pre-process each data. Last one is data reliability. It was a traditional problem too. We got what we wanted, but it was too counterintuitive, so we could not able to use it. Next. So what we need to do. The overall problems are really hard to solve. They are even inevitable problems in open data. Thus, we think of a few ways to increase the usability of open data. So first, we need to unify every language regarding data. In Open Data Portal, lots of data were written in English, but some data were written in the native language. Or even if the title and descriptions were in English, fields were in native language. We totally understand this, but considering that the open data is not just for its own country, but for various countries, it is a fatal problem that lowers the accessibility. I mean, the heart of open data is giving data to everyone who needs it, right? So we think it is important to unify the language of every piece of data. Second, building a global standard for data. For example, there are unified standards in measuring units, such as centimeter and kilogram. This is the reason why there are no confusions among countries in measuring things. However, let's say the US, they uses mile over kilometer, pounds over kilogram, which is really tricky to understand, right? It is same for the data too. If we have a global format or global standard in representing data, it makes people much easier to use. This requires lots of time and effort, but it's worth it. So some disclaimers might say that this is the reason why you need to pre-process it. So, however, what is the heart of the open data? Literally, it is the openness. Open data should be open to everyone, regardless of the place, age, or even regardless of the major. Even though someone did not major in engineering, they should understand the open data. Also, even someone is just a student who just learned printing hello world on the console, they should be able to understand it. We do not know what intuitions they could bring to the world by using open data. We believe that open data is not like a fancy luxury that only a few people could use. It should be like a neighborhood we all familiar with. Thank you. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Lee, for showing us how open data can serve as an important tool to build the social safety net. It seems that open data can not only improve our life, but even saving lives. I would also like to encourage all audiences to start dig into the potential of open data and realize your own idea. Next, let us move on to the third session to take a close look at the situation of open data in different countries. First, I would like to invite Mr. Haoseki, the founder of Code for Japan, to tell us more about the situation of open data in Japan.
Hello, thank you for inviting me today. My name is Haoseki, a founder of Code for Japan and an executive advisor to the CIO of the Japanese government agency, Cabinet Secretary. Today, I'm going to share the situation of open data in Japan. Do you know this animation? My Neighbor Totoro. This is also a sort of open data because Studio Ghibli allows everyone to use some illustrations freely within the bounds of common sense. Next page, please. The Japanese government has a desirable future vision, Society 5.0. In the information society, it is called Society 4.0, cross-sectional sharing of knowledge and information was not enough, and cooperation was difficult. It isn't easy to find the necessary information from overflowing information. Also, we have to deal with the decreasing birth rate and aging population and local depopulation. Social innovation in Society 5.0 will achieve a forward-looking society that breaks down the existing sense of stagnation. We have to use technologies to make human-centered society. Next, please. Relating the open data, the Japanese government is going to standardize and prepare base registries It is a reliable source of basic information about items in the society. It is a foundation of all social activities and an essential environment in a digital society. With those registries, we will be able to use the open data more efficiently. Next, please. Since the Japanese government have been promoting open data, 51% of local government have started open data. It is about 82% of population coverage. The next issues that we have to solve are how we can support small-sized municipalities and increase the dataset's quality. Next, please. The government is weak to cover uncertain issues. Emergency makes the community stronger. Since the COVID-19 began to spread, I saw a lot of community-driven projects that happened in Japan. For example, people in Code for Japan network built dashboards, either gathering services, search apps, or supporting NPOs. Next, please. Here is one example. This screenshot is an official website of the Tokyo Metropolitan Government for showing the information of the COVID-19 situation. Code for Japan is built for Tokyo Metropolitan Government, and we used open data from the Tokyo Metropolitan Government. This dashboard became very popular as soon as it was released because it was very well designed. Also, there was another reason that makes it popular. Next, please. We published the source code on GitHub. Also, we opened, issued, and pull request functions for public. It means anybody can post issues or ideas about the website and send their improved source code to our repository. Next, please. After releasing the website, we got many contributions from the world literally, and we've got 750 issues in 3 weeks, and over 1,000 pull requests from 224 contributors. In total, we have more than 300 contributors. It includes Audrey Tang, Digital Minister of Taiwan. People improved the website dramatically day by day. Next, please. The government has also released various data to help people understand the impact of the COVID-19 and how to respond. V-Resource is a dashboard for understanding the economic situation under the influence of COVID-19. You can see people's flow of the specific area, payment data, small and medium enterprises conditions, or event ticket sales, and so on. Such kind of database was used for planning the recovery plan. Next, please. And GTFS JP is one of the most successful open data in Japan. GTFS, GTFS, General Transit Field Specification in a global form, is a global format, and GTFS JP is an extended standard format for public transportation data promoted by the MLIT since 2016. With a strong open data community's promotion, 305 companies published GTFS JP data already, and many transportation apps, including Google, are using the data for showing route, timetables, or real-time bus positioning. Next, please. Recent hot data in Japan is 3D data, especially Shizuoka Prefecture is one of the strong publishers of 3D data. They launched a Shizuoka Point Cloud database last year. You can download many data from their database, please, like laser scanned point cloud data. Or next, please. Sorry. Can you go to next page? Oh, thank you. Like laser scanned point cloud data of roads or bridges, tunnels, you can use it for city planning, infrastructure inspection, or disaster prevention, and so on. Next, please. Ministry of Land Infrastructure Transport and Tourism launched the 3D land viewer called Plateau. You can see 3D buildings from with some information like hazard maps or evacuation spots. It uses CityGNL global standard format as a data format. Next, please. But just publishing open data is meaningless. Open data needs people to use it. In my opinion, key concept for motivating people to use data is creativity. Let's enjoy the creativity. A local community in the Code for Japan network created this brochure. It explains how to apply a local restaurant sport campaign by the government. Because the Japanese government's information about the campaign is very difficult to understand. So they created this brochure and hand out to the restaurant owners, local restaurant owners. They also used Studio Ghibli's illustration. Next, please. Also, we even enjoy the data cleansing. This website is named Bat Open Data Temple, resting in peace to Bat Open Data. This temple is a peaceful place by the people who clean the data, clean the BAT data like PDF, BAT formatted Excels, or BAT styled websites. Normally, cleaning up dirty data is painful, but we can share the struggle and change it to the fun activity. Also, audiences can avoid the same pain. With creativity and open data, we can connect and work together. Let's enjoy problem solving. Next, please. That's all. If you have any questions, please mention this Twitter handle, Haruseki. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Haruseki, for your introduction. Next, let us invite Mr. Sitansu Sekar, the Senior Project Manager of Open Government Data Platform India, to share with us the situation of open data in India.
Good morning from New Delhi, India, to all of our partners at Asian Open Data Partnership. And in India, we have, I'm representing an organization called Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and National Informatics Center. We have created data.gov.in, the data platform for all government data in India, and we have started since 2012. Can I have the next slide, please? This is the screenshot of our Open Government Data Platform, which is started from 2012. In India, we have an institutional mechanism. We have started. May I have the next slide? This is a broader ecosystem of data.gov.in. We have in the left-hand side, we have the data portal. In the right-hand side, we have all communication and citizen engagement platform. We have a dedicated data portal. We have dedicated community engagement platform called community.data.gov.in. We have a dedicated event platform, which is event.data.gov.in, and we have a dedicated visualization engine that is visualize.data.gov.in. So the primary data portal, which is providing, is a connecting link between the government and the citizen for the data. And at the same time, we are providing a G2G service where all the government ministries and departments are onboarded to this platform and publish their datasets. These datasets are further offered to the citizen through APIs and as physical format also. In the right-hand side, we have all the community engagement scenario where community, academia, developers, and journalists, all the stakeholders could come and join hands. They can create products out of data and submit in the community portal. Similarly, we have dedicated event portal. We have every day, every year, we are organizing hackathons, challenges related to open data, and we have a national data-driven innovation award also. Every year, we used to
give the winner of our hackathons to this award. And those things were controlled and managed through event.data.gov.in. We have a dedicated visualization engine where anyone can come and create their visualization on a go, and can save that, can use that for their own portal, can embed the visualization in various formats in their websites and other sections. In the bottom line, if you could see, that is, we are also providing data.gov.in as a software as a service model, where any smart cities or any state or department can create their own data portal for their own data. So till date, there are a number of states are already created their own data, and these data are also synced with the main portal. Apart from that, all the 100 smart cities, Government of India is working to create 100 smart cities in India. So we have a dedicated smart city mission. So we have started a separate portal, a dedicated portal for all smart cities, that is called smartcities.data.gov.in. And all the 100 smart cities are onboarded on that portal, and they are regularly publishing their data from various applications, from various IoT devices and other local level data. And those data could be used for data-driven innovation and data-driven decision making at various forms. May I have the next slide? Yeah, as I was talking about the institutional mechanism, in India, we have a dedicated national data sharing and accessibility policy. This is a Government of India policy notified in the year 2012, where the government has made it mandatory that all the public data, those are created by using public funds, should be released in open format, in machine readable format to the citizens, so that anybody could use them for whatever purpose they want to use it. Next slide, please. At the same time, we already have something called a dedicated license. This is one of its kind in the world also. We called it Government Open Data License. This is more in line with the Creative Commons and other similar licenses, where anyone can use the open data by using the condition of this license. This license is also allowed users and commercial entities to use open data for commercial purpose also without asking the government. They just have to follow the license structure, and they don't have to ask the government or any data provider to use that data for commercial purpose also. So this license has given more freedom to have data for data-driven innovation, specifically by the industries, by the startup and other stakeholders. Next slide, please. So these are some of the numbers that we are using since its starting. The data portal currently has more than 479,000 data sets. We have onboarded almost 354 chief data officers. These chief data officers are basically a point person in concerned ministry department of the government, where they're responsible to upload data, and they have all the accountability for the authentication, for the accuracy and other related activity related to that data. So we have more than 29.64 million times these data sets are viewed in the last couple of years, and more than 8.60 million times they are downloaded. Right now, out of this 479,000 data sets, we are publishing around 25% of the data are coming automatically through APIs and web services. So there is no need of human intervention in these 25% of data. Right now, we're working in a model where we are working for data by default, so that any data sets that is generated in the government domain could be come to data.gov.in through an automated channel without any human intervention, so that those could be updated and those granularity could be maintained on a regular basis, and even the stakeholders could use those data sets in a much better and updated format, updated way. May I have the next slide, please? So this is another that I have already talked about, the smart city data portal, where we have onboarded 100 smart cities, and right now we have started contributing data sets from each cities. Next slide. These are the state instances and are created by using software as a service model of the open data platform. Next slide. Some more example of SaaS model of OGT. Next slide, please. These are our community engagement platforms that I have discussed about the event portal and the community portal. These are a couple of applications. Those were developed by various organizations, various communities, students, startups, and industries by using datasets available on data.gov.in in open format. And these are even a couple of commercial applications are used. Have been developed using this. These are some example of our events that we are regularly conducting, the hackathons, the yearly hackathons, and the code activities with various industry partners. Some examples are like Microsoft and NASCOM and other organization, industry bodies also. Next slide. Some more stakeholders engagement images. Next, please. Next. This is the national award for Open Government Data Hackathon that I have already discussed about the national award. Next, please. So these are some visualizations and infographics created using by the public using these data sets. Next slide, please. Next, please. So we have created dedicated dashboards also using these datasets, and all the SDG goal datasets are also available in data.gov.in, where the progress of India is calculated every month. Every month, these datasets are updated and are used, and that dashboards have been created using those. Next, please. Next, please. So we have also created during the COVID time, we have already created a dedicated dashboard for all COVID related data. And now we just try to include the vaccination drive in India and the vaccination related data in this format, in this dashboard. Next, please. Now, how India wants to be partner with AODP, and we are keen to work with all our partners and to create an Asian open data economy where all these partners could work together and create a better ecosystem for better data-driven decision-making, better data-driven development, better data-driven innovation, and in a longer run, we can share each other's data. And I really congratulate to AODP to start with an initiative called Asian Open Data Initiative, and we can take it forward. And India is always in the forefront to help each other in this ecosystem to make it a better and sustainable ecosystem in future. Thank you so much. May I have the next slide, please, for the contacts? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sitansu Sekar, for your introduction. Next, let us invite Mr. Suracha Sasiponpai, the Senior Analyst of Digital Government Development Agency, to tell us more about the situation of open data in Thailand.
Thanks, Shelley. Thank you, Shelley. First of all, I would like to make a greeting for all of us to be here on such a beautiful day, International Open Data Day. For Thailand, first of all, I would like to mention behind me, as you can see, we are running International Open Data event. Is under the theme Open Data for Life, and we'll talk about it later in the slide. Okay, next, please. First of all, we would like to share our 5 years open data roadmap. It comes to 3 phases. First, right now, this year, and the next, 21-22, we are doing the open data promotion. The promotion will create awareness and community building, mostly from educational sector, private sector, and we're trying to reach out to sort of public-private partnership in the data project. The product and service-oriented contest, this year we will hold a contest. For the year 23 and 24, we're trying to focus on the open data cooperation, try to expand the partnerships with society, business sector, and others. This will gain the momentum to negotiate and open further government open data to the society. Okay, and at the end of the plan in year 25, we expect to see some a sign of open and connected government. Right now we are doing some sort of government data catalog that joining all the government data together with the data catalog, but that will be used within government sector only. On the other hand, open data catalog will be issued maybe in the middle of year 22 next year. This will also categorize and make a data list of open data in Thailand. Okay, next please. Let me talk about year 21. Right here on March, we are doing International Open Data Day event. And on April, May, June, and July, and August as well, we are running roadshow, trying to reaching citizens. We're going to university campuses. We are gathering all the way we can to make people joining and realize what is open data in Thai. On the 4 domains, we are doing the contest, trying to develop agriculture in the next normal, and open education for the modern education. And we are trying to help SMEs to survive the COVID pandemic by creating from innovation from open data. And the last one, but not least, the open data for welfare equality, that which will suit the suffer people who affected from the COVID as well. And at the end of the year, the budget year, in September, we will hold the very first Thailand Government Data Expo, which will cover all the highlights in Thailand. Next, please. About the event today, the International Open Data Day, maybe after the conference, you can scan and try to check out the main event today in Thailand. Next slide, please. Yep. I'm sorry for not being able to translate all the text in here, but we have his Prime Minister, Prayut Chan-o-cha, giving the speech through the recording tape footage. He will give the policy and showing his vision towards the open data in the policy in Thailand. And we also have Minister of Prime Minister's Office come here today actually and give us the opening. Okay, about the event, we are doing. It's the first time of that Thailand we have the geospatial road accidental data that is integrated, and we're trying to create a service and from the integrated data and to make people foresee and being able to predict the accidental hotspot and provide a pre-warning service. Hopefully we can reduce the road accident. Next, please. Okay, let's talk about the contest back here. The contest will do along the year. It's including hackathon, business plan contest, data visualizing contest. We are having so many leagues, and we expect to reach as much audience as we could, maybe from teenagers to after pensions. Next, please. Okay, at the end of the year, we have the Open Data Expo. With the brief time, I will go fast. Next, please. Yes. Next, please. Yep. It consists of the 4 sectors: the open data from government, the open data festival from the general public. Next, please. And from the government agency themselves, they will come and showcase their own digital service from and or expect them to further open data from the services. Next, please. Next, please. Yep. And also we have the private sector comes to have an exhibition of the new technologies and innovation to do the information and technology transfer to government sectors. Next, please. Okay. Last but not least, I would like to update the data.go.th from Thailand. Right now, we have represented 2,794 datasets from 225 government agencies. The high-value dataset has been disclosed, including COVID-19 datasets, Board of Investment datasets, industrial factory legislation dataset, new business legislation, and Bangkok urban geospatial, and which will expand another 1,600 dataset by the end of this year. And also this event dataset, the geospatial record accidental dataset. That would be all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Surachat, for your introduction. Last but definitely not the least, I would like to invite Mr. Thi Trai, the Executive Director of Open Development Cambodia, to tell us more about the situation of open data in Cambodia.
Thank you so much for having me today, and my apology that I don't have a slide presentation, so I will talk briefly about the perspective, especially for the open data the situation in Cambodia. And yes, so first I would like to introduce a little bit about what ODC has been done. Open Development Cambodian is an online portal, and is one of the organization promote open data movement in Cambodia and also in the Mekong region and also Southeast Asia. And we collecting and aggregate the data related to social and economic development. Currently, we focus on the data related to COVID-19, and we collect the data set related to the COVID, how the data impact to the, how the COVID-19 impact to the economic and social, and also what are the data set related to the Cambodian CSDG, how the performance of the SDG implementation in Cambodia. For the open data situation in Cambodia, ODC has been working closely with open data community in Cambodia more than 8 years, and we also promote the open data initiatives both in the civil society and also government. We also learned that a lot of data that are available in the public domain, but it's not in the complete form, and it's very challenges for the researcher user to use the data for the further action, and also the low quality of the data in the public domain. And sometimes the data that collected is not provide the detail of the methodology of the data collection. That will be a big challenges for the researcher and also key stakeholder who use the data for the further action. However, we learned that right now, government and also relevant stakeholder try to invest in terms of create the open data portal. Even it is still early stage for Cambodian, especially the initiatives of open data movement in Cambodian. And we don't have the specific legal framework about the open data so that will be difficult for a relevant stakeholder to access the data, especially the data related to economic, social development in the country. For the data that right now we have challenges faced by open data community. For example, the limit of availability of the raw data and often incomplete and out of date and difficult to find and navigate as well. And unreliable data due to the poor of the data documentation and metadata, and lack of the data from of the government collaboration. That also one of the biggest challenge, and especially the low of the data literacy limit technical capacity of both supply side and demand side in Cambodia. Again, ODC is one of the key players for promoting open data movement in Cambodia and also in the region. And we hope that the event today and especially like in Cambodia, we also organize the open data event, and a lot of community, especially open data community, they actively involved in the event. So we believe that by involving and using the data, it will be improved for the data for the future, especially in terms of the data collection, data sharing, and also the data for sharing the data openly and available to the relevant stakeholder. So to conclude, I can see that the data movement in Cambodian is in terms of the knowledge and also involvement, we see the level of the increasing and also the improving of the data quality. But it's still lack of the open data infrastructure, and especially from the government side, because that is still the low investment for that project. ODC work very hard and collaborate with the relevant stakeholder to do a further improvement, and also the foster the open data initiatives and also accessible of the data in Cambodia and also in the Mekong region. Again, thanks so much for the AODP for hosting the event today. I think it's really a great opportunity for us to discuss a further collaboration, especially the data related to COVID, data related to economic and also social development in our region. So that's my short reflection about the open data initiatives in Cambodia. And if you have time, please feel free to visit our website. And actually, our organizer team, they opened the COVID-19 dashboard of ODC website, but COVID-19 dashboard is not the only data set that we are working. We have a lot of data set related to economic and other social development as well. So feel free to check it out. And if you have anything to talk for further collaboration, feel free to let us know. Thanks so much for AODP team and all the participants for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Try for your introduction. I would like to invite all of you in front of the screen to give a big round of applause for our speakers. After hearing all this wonderful speech, now we will move on to the Q&A session. You're welcome to leave your question either in the live chat session or Slido with the event code of 13328. And I would like to invite Dr. Chi-Min Pong to be the moderator of this session. Dr. Pong, the floor is all yours.
Okay, thank you everyone. And we have several people over there, and I will, because right now there's no Slido, and please join, and if you have any kind of questions. And my first question is to Professor Hong, because I know AODP 2021 will be in Vietnam, but due to the COVID-19, we do not have any plan of this year's overseas travel. I don't know we can go to Vietnam or not. Do you have any plan B or not if the COVID-19 still continue? I don't know. Please give us some maybe some idea about that.
Well, we have some small outbreaks in the country. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. But somehow Vietnam have been able to control them. So right now, life become normal in most part of Vietnam. But still the government is reluctant to open, commercial air traffic for people to come into Vietnam yet. So I hope that as the vaccines are coming in, and September is a long way away, I hope that you can open the country and introduce beautiful Vietnam to you, and invite all of you to come to Vietnam for the conference. However, we also get prepared. In case of sudden happening, we can have online, plus on-site activities. So please, we are thinking of having 3 days. If you can come to Hanoi from the 14th for the dialogue, the 15th for the conference, and the 16th of October 2021 for visiting site related to open data or places of interest in and around Hanoi. I must say that I have learned a lot. That is a very extremely interesting and mind-opening workshop that I have attended recently. And thank you, Mr. Chair, for very encouraging, inspiring speech and invitation for Vietnam to come in. As I said, Vietnam is a latecomer in this area. We still have a lot to learn from our friends from Thailand, from Cambodia, from Japan, and from Taiwan and South Korea. So we hope that you will come to Hanoi, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for giving us the happiness of hosting the AODP 2021 in Vietnam. I think the focus Vietnam government and the Ministry of Education and Training today is digital transformation. You can see it on every title of newspaper, television, on the lips of the leaders in the country. And also, Vietnam is interested in smart city. This draws a lot of attention in Vietnam, and I'm sure that it can get smart city into the agenda. We can somehow mobilize local government, big business in Vietnam to get involved with us. So once again, thank you, the AODP team. Thank you, all the participants. I have learned a lot from you, and Vietnam will contact you, for the wonderful, example and demonstration you did today at the conference. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hong. Hope we can go to Hanoi in September. Okay, I have a question to Japan. And I know Japan this year you have digital ministries. And I'm wondering, open data belong to the ministry of the digital ministry, or in the traditional one. I don't know your policy, because in Taiwan and this year our government also proposed to have a digital development ministry. So it's a kind of transition. I don't know what your open data policy will change or not.
Digital ministry will be covering the digital services of the agencies, so that every other agencies, the digital system would be consulted by the open digital ministry. So right now, the open data portal is operated by the one of agency cabinet secretariat, but the open data portal will be the operator will be changed to the digital ministry. So policy itself won't be changed dramatically because there are already set to as an agenda, important agenda of the Japanese government, but the operation will be become more efficiently because we can the digital ministry would have the certain resources to maintain and develop the that portal. So I think it makes speed up the delivery of the open data.
Okay, I have a question to Thailand. Just your presentation shows today you have lots of open data event, and what's the your data community what they did today? And I know you have lots of all-day program. Today is it today? I think it is the biggest event in all of our members. You have lots of events today.
Yes, today we have quite a very big one. We grab an attention from the Prime Minister himself.
Okay.
He's sending the recording, giving up the speech and policies, what he wants the government agencies to become about what they want to act about open data. He gives the speech to encourage them to disclose data from the government side, which is very good output we expect today. Also, we have the Minister of Prime Minister's Office come here in person, give us the speech and opening of the event. Actually, if you guys would like to see, I can sneak peek the event for you. Okay, no matter, we try. And the community comes today is mostly we are doing live. We're doing live today, and we promote through the social community. I'm gonna speak a little bit softer.
Wow!
It's the big live event today. Okay.
Oh, wonderful!
Okay.
Wonderful!
Okay.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Because the share is going up, so I may not stay too close. The noise will be distracting.
Yeah. So in Thailand, this year your prime minister from the highest level top down to do the open data. I think it's a different this year, right?
At the beginning we be doing top down today, but we do bottom up as well through the contest. Yeah.
Okay.
We have partnerships right now. Over 25 public sector company.
Okay.
As we're willing to join us in the contest as a sponsor.
Yeah. Okay. We have one question from the Slido. Probably Professor Fang can answer these questions. And I don't know the user, the who asked the questions. Any advice on the fundamentals of determining the content of data set that have valuable impacts for citizens before sharing it in any open data portal?
Okay, my answer to this is that if any country when have some valuable data, okay, let us know. Then the webmaster will prioritize harvesting it. For example, in the case of India, currently we only have about 7% of India's data harvested because India have a huge collection of a huge repository of data sets. I think it's 7 lakh or something like that, or 4.7 lakh, right?
Yes, 4.7.
Yeah. Okay. So, but then we only have started harvesting India's data. So what we do is we do not have any priority for any of the data sets. But if some of the data sets are more important, then we can prioritize. We can harvest it first. Okay. The reason we cannot have all the data together is if all the data poured in together, our service is jammed. Okay, so we have to schedule it and harvest it batch by batch. Okay, so anyone that have important data set that we have, let us know. Okay, then we'll harvest it in the priority queue. Okay.
Yeah. Any feedback from India?
Yes, we have providing around 70,000 datasets as
Yeah.
APIs. So I think you can target those APIs first, so that it will be easy to. Those could be the low hanging.
Okay.
To start with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Just I know right now it's Professor Fang's teams. You organize over the API,
Yes.
collect over the information.
Right.
So you need our members to join you and probably to open, to share to you. So probably most of us can have some people to provide the information, provide the data, update information about ourselves.
Yeah. Basically, let me share what we did. Okay. What we did initially before we launched the service before last year. What we did is we went to Google and searched for all the available data sets. And if they are CKAN-based, if they are not locked, that means locked by a password or authentication requirements like that, then we started to download it, to harvest it. Okay, for the data sets that are locked, we have to get help from our AODP members to provide us access. Some of the time, for example. Again, I haven't talked about India. In India's case, we did not get the access, initially. That's why India's data is late. Okay, so if there are some data sets that we did not, that are not included, please come and register as a member. So let us know how we can harvest it. Then we can do it faster. Okay. Help us together. As I said in my presentation just now, there's a huge value in pooling all the data from all the countries, because then the data instead of piece by piece, then it's all together, and it creates a very huge magnetic effect. So in a Google ranking and so on, it ranked very high, so it can provide much better exposure for everyone. Okay, so please help us to co-create our values.
Yeah, just my experience, because if our local people, for example, Korea, your young generation, they want to do the data from your government open data site. And you can encourage the people, go to the portal.asia and to use the data. So probably our AODPs, our new contest, the criteria, you should use the Asia, portal.asia. And the second is probably your portal, you can show some logos. For example, our member, if they join, and you can put. So it's all of the people contribute this. It's not only from Professor Fang or Taiwan, something. It's all of us to share the data.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions to everyone?
Can I ask a question about?
Yeah.
So is there a possibility to join for the local government? Because in Japan, many local governments also have a data portal, and it is not harvested to the national open data catalog.
Sure. So yes, okay. For example, in our local case in Taiwan, we not only harvest data from the central government, we also harvest data from local government. The reason for that is we know they exist, okay? But in the case of, for example, in the case of India, in the future, when we do our batch by batch harvesting, all the local government's data will be in, because in India's case, all the states like Tamil Nadu and New Delhi and so on. Just the talk just now we see everyone is there. Yes. So when we finish harvesting, everyone is there. In Japan's case, we found Japan's the door to the central government open data, but we did not have access. We do not know where the Tokyo city government or municipal government or the Osaka municipal government's open data access. So if they want to be harvested, come in and register as a member and let us know. Okay, then we know how to do the API, whether it's CKAN-based or it's proprietary, then the data get harvested. Okay, please, if you have knowledge, if you have access, if you know other people, let us know. Come and register. Okay, thank you very much.
So I'm wondering, Professor Fang, do we need, for example, each country we should have an advisor, just like all of you can be our advisor. Right. If we have any kind of data update, because for example, some people from India, they want to update and we don't know, and they can send an email.
In fact, today we do not have an official consulting group, but like in the case of India, the reason we started harvesting is, I think 2-3 weeks ago, we have some contact, right? And then we discovered a huge gold mine. Then we start doing it. Okay, so basically, if we want to have an official board of advisory board, things like that. AODP, please do that.
Probably later on, Dr. Hong, you can suggest organize such a kind of advisory board, and each country have 1 or 2 person, or to join. And we can, for example, some industries, some private sector also can provide their data. Local government, central government. However, we still need somebody from your country you are very familiar to check it is true or not. Any kind of something about that. So probably this year we can talk something about that, and probably our secretariat can send an email to everyone, and or can they join to our advisory board for that?
Yeah, as I mentioned in my last slide, this morning, in the future we'd like to attract more profit-generating businesses to come on board. If our platform, if our data portal can prove to be valuable for them, then they may want to pay, for advertisement or whatever. Or in the future, we may even split the business into 2 types: data sources and business generating. Then for those business profit generating organizations, we are going to charge them for membership in the future. The reason is not to make profit for ourselves. The reason is that we want to have the portal be self-sustaining. Instead of having to beg Dr. Peng, to beg Mr. Wu from our ministry to provide us some funding.
In Taiwan, some of our ministry, because their data is too huge, and they need lots of traffic and storage. So right now they are thinking our data is not only open data for free. If the heavy user, you should pay something for that. So right now, however, it's not easy, because in the beginning, lots of people will complain, oh, it's open data, it should be free. But it's a heavy user. So however, the law and how much money we should pay, so it's a public-private partnership. We should discuss.
That's in the future.
So probably in the future we can find, for example, Amazon, the cloud server, they can sponsor something for our portal.asia in the future. Something. Any questions? Sorry. Another. We have. Please. Okay, we have another question now. Okay, any top 3 suggestion for the most important area and cluster for any government to focus on gathering data sets that useful for public use? Top 3 suggestion for the most important area or cluster for any government to focus on gathering data sets that useful for public use. top 3 suggestion. What's that? What I think, because most of people, public, they care is traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic is the most of people, most of the country, they like to use.
If I don't answer the question, okay,
yeah.
there are 2 types.
Yeah.
One is internal to a country.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's internal to country, then you generate some interest, some value, things like that. But as a international organization, like AODP, I think maybe we should talk about cross-border data. Okay. Then in that case, in the case of Greater Mekong Area Corporation, then there are a lot of water-related data. Okay, it's open data. Okay, then it's going to cross Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Okay, and the water affects everyone in that region. Of course, it doesn't affect us in Taiwan. It doesn't affect Japan, but it's cross-border. This is some example. I would think that the most important thing is the cross-border data exchange. If we can have a data portal.asia, then we have many data from different countries, then we can together we can generate some value. If it is within one country, then it doesn't need, the issue doesn't need to be here, right? It can be in their own country. It doesn't need to be in the data portal.asia.
Okay. Anyone have questions or comment? Anyone?
Yeah, I agree with that. The environmental data is very important for saving the Earth.
Yeah.
So we should share the such kind of water or weather data or other environmental
or
issues
even fishery. Yeah. The fishery, because the fish goes around, you know.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Anyone have questions?
I think the data sets related to company master data, the details about companies where cross-border businesses are happening. So in that case, you can cross-check whether that company really exists and whether they are working on the similar lines or similar sectors they are mentioning in their websites and all. So we have published the company master data of India. So all the registered company in India, and we are publishing every year. That is a yearly granularity. Every year, whatever new companies are registered, we are publishing data, and that data is also available through APIs. So anyone can check whether that company exists or not, whether the address is correct or not, whether the directors are real or not. So if all these Asian countries could release the company master data of each country, that could be really helpful for, in terms of cross-border businesses and trust in that could increase the level of trust in business also, I think.
Yeah, that is really important. For example, if there's one Indian company that buys something from a Taiwanese company, that the Taiwanese company can then go to the India's data set and find the company, whether it is real or is a fake, right? And whether the address is true, whether they can potentially collect the money. Otherwise,
apart from that, even for freight and other things, let's say somebody is trying to transport something. So let's say you have the geospatial information of that particular company, you can plan accordingly. What could be how you can reduce your freight charges? Let's say you will go through a shipping route, or you should go air cargo, or you can decide what is the nearest airport.
Yeah, that's true.
The nearest, that you could plan accordingly.
Yeah, maybe next time we can call put out an issue and have a hackathon. Ask them to provide a solution. Have a web solution or app.
Sectoral details. Sector-wise hackathons could be planned.
Yes.
Specifically in agriculture, we have lots of potentiality. We have real-time data in our portal also. We have real-time market price. All the commodities. What is the real-time price? The data sets are updated every hour. So a number of applications are developed around those data sets. Like somebody can watch the market price on a real time. What would be the price of particular grain in various various areas and other things. So those data sets could be also used. Agriculture is a huge sector to in open data to deal with.
I have a question to Korea and Japan, because right now our government from last year, and we know Japan and Korea announced you announced 2050 year 2050 Japan and Korea will be carbon neutral. So it's not easy, and our Taiwan government got the pressure from Taiwan, Japan, and Korea, and all of the other world. We should promise the carbon zero before 2050. And just I know from Korea News, your government announced you should have a digital transformation to help the Green Deal, Green New Deal. And so digital transformation, just like open the data about something about climate change issues. It's a new issues, I think. I'm wondering what you did about this open data thing, digital transformation, something with the climate change things.
Okay, so our government released a lot of data, and they also opened a lot of hackathon using those data for even the college students. So we are going on a lot of, I call the New Deal projects. So we are currently doing great, and I believe there will be more data in our Korea, and I hope that our data can be shared by other countries like Taiwan or India, so that there will be a huge global company who can utilize all the countries' data to innovate our global issues.
Okay.
In Japan, that is really big issue, and we have to think about creative way to solve that issue. And about in terms of open data, I think it's really important is measurement and have a suitable KPI. So I think we need to break down the how we have to achieve the goal, and each industry should have such kind of KPI KPI, and we need to change the KPI from the economic efficiency to the environmental efficiency. So that's an important role of the policy makers. So I think it's good to have a great goal. The Japanese government decided. So we need to the concrete plan for the next phase. So I think each local government should have to think about that. And some of, for example, Tokyo Metropolitan Government is planning to have create some kind of green funding or some other policies. So it's really important for everyone to think about that.
Okay, thank you everyone. And finally, I will give the floor to our 2021 AODP chair, Dr. Hong, to give us maybe closing remarks, please.
Thank you. Mr. Chair and all the participants, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for giving Vietnam an honor, happiness to host the AODP 2021 in Vietnam. Now, the tentative date for our AODP dialogue is October the 14th. And the open data conference will be on the 15th of October. Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes. Good. And we will have one day for tours to places of interest in Hanoi or around Hanoi. As we know, the COVID pandemic is very unpredictable. So Vietnam will be planning for both on-site an online conference for all of us. So you can come to Vietnam, which I expect to see all of you in Vietnam in the future in October. We have decided that the theme for the conference in Vietnam will be digital transformation. I know this is a very big subject. Naturally, open data in education is a hot issue for us because the Association of University and Colleges in Vietnam is responsible for this area in education. The date and the forms of the conference will be conveyed to you as a title guide, and more information will be added. Smart city, as I mentioned, also will be the attention in Vietnam. I'm sure that AODP will have a lot to share with Vietnam in this matter. We are also interested in the experience and lessons learned from Thailand, as you just explained, how to get your Prime Minister and Minister of the Government office. So the top down and the bottom up model, because we are looking on that. We need experience. We also want to learn from India how to explore, the data and try to, classify them and put them in areas so that we can work on this. I wonder when AODP will start working on standardization of data and cleansing the data so that the data set will be used and exploited confidently. So if you have any information regarding this, please let us know, because we want to start with our right foot rather than correcting everything later on. With that, I would like to say again that I enjoy this AODP workshop very much, and I have learned a lot from you. And finally, happy International Open Database to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hong, and thank you, everyone, and see you next time. Probably we should keep on have lots of webinars to talk another issues. We have lots of the potential topics we can talk in this year, and especially Happy Open Data Day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all for joining this workshop and celebrating the Open Data Day with us today. We hope that in today's workshop, we have successfully shown you more possibilities of open data. And we would like to invite you all to create something meaningful utilizing open data from the Asia Open Data Portal. This workshop should serve as a beginning, but not the end. Feel free to contact us if you have any ideas or if you are searching for any kinds of collaboration. Lastly, on behalf of AODP Secretariat, I would like to wish you a wonderful weekend and happy Open Data Day. Cheers!